Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. So it's been a whole day without me talking about Sunset, which means I'm far past the due date to meet my Sunset quota. So, I figured something that I haven't talked about, which really surprised me. Honestly, I had to go back and check all the videos I've done on her, and I don't think I've ever specifically touched on the fact of why Celestia abandoned Sunset Shimmer and the human world. We understand that Celestia was not 100% certain of the portal's functions and that she had no ability to actually go back and be able to get her. To be fair, the portal itself is kind of a confusing thing. For one, I guess not just random particles of dust or birds are ever able to transfer themselves from the portal on the human world into Equestria or vice versa, but it's also something that can show your potential, which is only an aspect that was ever used once when Sunset was younger. It doesn't seem to have that property anymore, because when Twilight looks right into it, it doesn't tell her what she could become. It just shows her as she is, like a normal mirror is supposed to do. But Celestia's incompetence aside and her lack of intellect regarding the nature of the mirror, why did she abandon Sunset simply for seeking further education? Isn't the teacher's job meant to explain? As they say, there are no bad students, simply bad teachers. And Celestia certainly has been a bad teacher to both Sunset and Twilight, usually giving them vague questions and answers to all kinds of different scenarios that put people's lives at risk. There is a point where you should stop trying to teach them in a vague way and actually take a more hands-on approach to their learning. That being said, Sunset obviously was not a very nice person. She didn't care for other people and she viewed them as stepping stones. You can see this highlighted pretty well in the comics, but I don't want to dive too deep into the comics, as those do technically exist in a separate lore from even EQG and the show. They're just a fun little thing to base my ideas off of every now and again. As I've said time and time again, Celestia is a master manipulator, and I don't believe she just let Sunset go out of incompetence. Despite what I said earlier with her not knowing how the mirror looks, I think that's only on the surface. Celestia may not have known how the mirror worked at first, but she probably had enough time to figure it out. There was a lot of things that were very circumstantial here, like the fact that when Sunset Shimmer is relieved of her duties as a student at Celestia's school is one of the days that the mirror is open. And she just happened to have seen the mirror then, and she just happened to be nearby it on her way out of the castle. There's a lot of coincidences here. Now, I'm not sure if Celestia simply wanted to allow the dice of fate to roll, or if she cast the die herself with crooked dice. But I do believe Celestia was playing a game here. As she does with Twilight, Sunset seems to be a pawn, another weapon for her to use. You see, the other world had magic that seems to keep on being uncovered, such as the mirror in the latest EQG special, or even the geodes that was in Camp Everfree. Magic would eventually leak into that world, and Celestia probably knew that they were using that world as a magical dumping ground for those who she considered undesirables, such as the Sirens. Perhaps she allowed Sunset to go into this world because she needed someone to take care of the issues there, without having to constantly either personally visit or send Twilight, raising potentially unwanted questions. The reasons of her never seeming to ever contact Sunset or even offer a hoof to assist her may simply be because she wants Sunset to think that she still has something to make up for and that she is not welcome back in Equestria. You see, Twilight never actually offers to take her back home to see her family or her friends, if she even had any, but just leaves her there in that world. It kind of feels like they're not telling Sunset that she can't come back, but actively doing stuff that will make her feel like she can't come back because of her immense guilt. In one of the shorts, recent ones for EQG, she actually does go through the portal and comes back to Equestria. But if you notice something, she never mentions about seeing her parents, or seeing Celestia, or just even seeing how Equestria has changed since she's been gone. She stays in the castle and is even hesitant to bring anyone back with her. She's very aware that she's treading on thin ice. She only came for the book, and she won't do anything else. She won't even leave the castle. I don't know if Celestia had planned to banish Sunset. That may have just been something that she did on a whim. And then she just saw what happened with the mirror and figured that she could use this to her advantage. The mirror showed that she could be an alicorn. Maybe that even scared Celestia. Having someone who's this tenacious, this hungry for power, also becoming an alicorn? Well, that could just be a second Nightmare Moon waiting to happen. She can't have someone who could threaten her reign. It's best to send her off to another land where she can deal with the garbage that she sent there. So maybe that's why Celestia just abandoned Sunset. Do I think this is probably true? Well, probably not. The show's a Y7 show. I don't think they're gonna be this dark. But it's fun to pretend, and it's fun to overthink kid-friendly shows. I've been Faith or Moliminous. I hope you enjoyed this little ramble. And if you did, like the video. If you want to support more videos like this, and they'll probably be a little bit more structured like the normal ones later on, then go ahead and support us on Patreon, or just consider watching without ad block. Get subscribed so you get notified, and join our Discord. I'll see you guys in the next one. Woo!